Hey everybody, Steve here. We're going to do a Yin restorative class today. Legs up the wall. So grab your bolster, grab a block, grab a pillow, grab a blanket, whatever you need for today's class, and we're going to get started here in just a sec. Hey everybody, welcome back. All right, before we get started with legs up the wall, there's just a couple of things I need to cover, so please just stay with me for a few seconds here, okay? There's a lot of benefits to legs up the wall, from relaxing the central nervous system because of some of the breath work that we do, and then how it affects our body, circulatory system, so the benefits of pumping more blood through our system since we sit so much during the day. But there's some safety stuff also that we have to think about too, okay? So, if you have glaucoma, if you have any retention of fluids in your system, if you have a heart condition, if you have high blood pressure, if you're past your third month of pregnancy, okay, and again, any risk for miscarriage or anything like that, if you have any neck issues, if you have had any head issues, right? So if you're dealing with some headaches, if you have any lower back pain. So there's a lot of things that you just have to pay attention to here. I don't recommend doing this class, okay? Outside of that, most everybody should be fine doing it, but like always, contact your physician. Just get approval to make sure you let them know what you're going to be doing and see if there's any issues doing that, all right? For the most part, most everybody should be okay to do this, all right? Now, let's get started just real quick with some equipment stuff, okay? I have a blanket and a bolster here. This is for demo, okay? And this is for additional support for your lower back when we're going to go up the wall. I prefer not to use either one of them. It's just what feels better in my body. I recommend trying both. See what feels good to you, okay? Some people like the additional lower back support. I will say I'm using my heavy, thick Manduka mat here. So this is a real thick Manduka mat, and I feel like I get enough support from it, okay? So choose whatever you need. I'm gonna just show you real quick what it looks like, what you wanna do with the blanket or the bolster. We just wanna put it up against the wall just like this. Okay, and then you're going to swing your bottom and your legs and lower back on here, and then take the legs straight up the wall. And you can do the same thing with the bolster, okay? I've seen a few people that like to even do this with blocks, and then they put a blanket below it for additional support. Again, I prefer not to use either one, okay? So I'm going to push these aside, and then we're going to get set up on the wall. Now, the easiest way for me that I've found to do this is you bring your legs right up against the wall. You bring your shoulder up against the wall, and then lay on your back. And then I always bring my hand right here on the wall for support, and I use it just to press into the wall and swing my legs around. All right. Now, if your bottom's not all the way against the wall, that's okay, don't worry about it. I like to keep contact with the wall, and that's, again, what feels better in my body. Now, for our practice today, hands and arms can go anywhere. It's, again, what feels best to you. Now, what I would recommend if you want to try, take your hands and arms to cactus arms, like this above your head. This is more of a restorative stretch, and it lets your shoulders, as your shoulders and chest relax, your body relaxes, you'll get a nice shoulder stretch and a little chest opener here. So if you want to play with that in class, go ahead and do it. Other than that, we just have our legs up the wall. Toes can be pointing up. We're really not trying to flex the feet or anything here. We want to just let our feet relax. Now for the first part of this, I'm just going to bring my hands on my chest. And we're going to be here for several breaths. And it's up to you if you want to use an Ujjayi breath, or if you want to count inhales and exhales. I like to use an Ujjayi breath myself, but it's a slow, steady inhale and exhale. So in a power class, we may be doing these really big inhales and exhales. Here it's slow, steady breathing in and breathing out. And I'm trying to push more air out than I bring in. But remember, do what feels good in your body. As we move through our practice today, remember, if something doesn't feel right, stop. Go out of the pose. Maybe go back into it again at a little different angle. If it still doesn't feel right, go back to a neutral position like this, legs up the wall. And then wait until we move into the next pose. Now we're going to go through a series of poses here today. This is actually a sequence I like to play with in my Yin Restorative classes that I teach live and online. I'll work it in every once in a while when we have wall space that we can use. But right now we're just settling into our mats. If you want to set an intention for practice today, go ahead and do that now. Set an intention for something you're working on in your life. So if you're trying to be more patient, or you just want to spread more joy or smile more to people that you see. Maybe now that you're not wearing our masks as much as we had, if you see somebody, just share a smile. And as always, if you can't think of something, just let your intention be to share some good energy or vibes with somebody you know that needs it. Everybody needs some good stuff in their life. And if you know somebody that's struggling right now, let that be your focus. Now our poses today, we're going to hold them anywhere from a minute to 3 minutes, depending on which one we're doing. And you're going to hear me say transition pose. So transition pose just means we're going to be there for about 2 to 4 breaths. So we won't be there as long. So legs straight up the wall will be mainly our transition pose today. All right, on our next exhale, we're going to keep that left heel to the wall, but we're going to start taking our left leg out to the side. So keep contact with the wall with that left leg. Gently open up that left leg all the way out as far as we can. And let that foot fall, just let it open up out to the side. No need to force it up. Just let that left leg just open up and fall. And again, check in with your breath. Do you have that slow, steady inhale and exhale? And just pay attention if you start to shorten your breath, if your breath gets shallow. It's real easy when we do poses like this where we're holding them longer to start kind of getting our monkey brain, right? Where we've got our to-do lists, things we need to do, send emails, make dinner, get lunch for the kids, whatever it may be. This is your time. Let this next 20 minutes, whatever the time is we're going to be here together, just let that be your time. A few more breaths here. And on our next inhale, we're going to keep that left heel on the wall, but gently start just bringing that left foot and leg back up to center, nice and slow. Transition pose, we'll be here just a few breaths. Quick check-in, maybe if you want to wiggle the toes, stretch them up toward the sky. And then on our next exhale, we're going to take the right leg out. So just keep contact with the wall with the right heel, gently open that right leg out to the side. And remember, just let that leg fall open. So you may notice that the right foot will just open up out to the side. We're not trying to kick out, stay active through a stretch. We're just letting ourselves open up. And we're going to get a nice stretch on the inside of our right leg now. Check in with that breath again. Nice, slow, steady inhale and exhale. Nothing forced here. Don't forget, maybe close those eyes if you haven't done so already. Just let the eyelids get heavy. And a few more breaths here. And on our next inhale, we're going to just slowly start bringing that right leg back up. So keep the right heel against the wall, gently bring it up to meet the left foot. Maybe wiggle your toes again, take a little bit of movement. Maybe pedal the feet or the legs or rock the hips side to side. Transition pose. Just be here 2 more breaths. Now on our next exhale, we're going to take both feet and legs out to the side nice and slow. Go slow, just see how your body feels as you start to take the legs out. If you're really tight, right, don't force it, okay? If your body says yes, continue just inching those legs down a little bit more. That's what I'm doing. And then once you find that spot where you get that nice deep stretch, both legs out. Again, check in with your breath, do some body scans. As we're going through this series today, do body scans, right? Head to toe, toe to head. We're looking for other areas in our body where there's tension. So maybe you got some tension in your lower back right now, or your shoulders, or your arms. See if you can breathe into that tension. Let it go. And a few more breaths here. Now, on our next inhale, we're going to bring both legs back up, but you can go one leg at a time. So I'm going to start with my right leg, take it up nice and slow, get it to the top, and then bring my left foot and leg all the way up. Take a few seconds here. Again, make some adjustments if you need to. Move your hands and arms. I'm going to now take my hands and arms in cactus arms, so above my head. All right, now we're going to go into, if we were in a seated position, we would call this seated single leg extension. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring this right foot down the inside of our left leg to the inside of our left thigh. And we're going to open this right knee and leg out. So open up the right hip again. We're going to hold this here for, again, about a minute or two. So let the body relax. Do your body scans, check your breath. Now, normally when I teach this sequence or part of this sequence, and we're doing it in our Yin Restorative class, the end part of it when we're adding in our additional restorative poses, we're on our back or on our belly, and every once in a while I'll get somebody that gets so relaxed they fall asleep, which is okay. Even here, if you find that you're starting to doze off, let it happen. Don't push out of it. Right? Just let your body relax, let your mind relax. And if you start to doze, it is what it is. Your body's just telling you you need to get more sleep. And if you want to do that on your own here, I promise I'll wake you up at the end. We're going to go a few more breaths here. And on our next inhale, slowly we just take that right foot back up the inside of the left leg all the way up to meet both toes and feet and legs at the top. Transition pose. We'll be here just one more breath, and then we're going to go to the left side. So on our next exhale, just start guiding that left foot down the right leg. So the left foot is to the inside of the right thigh. Let the body again relax, no tension here. I love doing this sequence. I'll do this sometimes at night. It's a great sequence to do before going to bed. So if you ever want to just totally just kind of start to shut down before you go to bed, try this legs up the wall sequence. Several of my students that do these classes with me online, and my wife always tells me she gets the best night's rest after doing legs up the wall. So another benefit to doing a class like this. Now a couple more breaths here. Now on our next inhale, just again, guide the left foot and leg straight back up again. So legs all the way up the wall, wiggle your toes, take a little bit of movement here. Again, our transition pose it's a reset pose. All right. On our next exhale, we're going to go into Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclined butterfly on the wall. So slowly bring the heels together, start bending the knees, bring the soles of the feet together slowly as we bring the feet and legs down the wall. Both knees out to the side, our feet are together. Now you can stay here, or if you want an extra little stretch, you can bring your hands to your knees or just the insides of your legs and start to press the legs towards the wall. Now I'm pretty open today, so I'm not going to force it. This is just kind of where I want to be. I've gotten my nice little shoulder stretch because I had my hands and arms in cactus arms. So I'm just going to gently rest my hands right on my rib cage on my chest. And we're just going to be here again for a minute or so. Just relax and breathe. So remember, even if we're in a deep stretch, you can find calmness in your mind and in the rest of your body. So just focus on breathing in and out, body scans. Again, just breathe and relax. No stress, no worries. A few more breaths here. Now, on our next inhale, we're going to slowly take our feet and legs back up the wall. You can go one at a time or take them both up at the same time. I'm going to take both up. Bring my feet and legs back up the wall. Transition. Just a few poses or breaths here before we move to the next pose. Now we're going to transition into a reclined pigeon here on the wall. So we're going to cross our right leg over our left leg just above the knee. So think closer to you as opposed to up the wall. Okay. Kick out through your right heel. Now, slowly, and I mean slowly, start trying to bring the left heel down the wall. Now, as we do that, this right leg's going to start coming towards you, and we're working on a stretch here in the right hip and the right glute, okay? Go nice and slow. We're not forcing it. Take it down as far as you can to where it's comfortable. Now, if you start to feel your lower back come up and your bottom start going up toward the sky, stay right there, okay? That's where your stretch is. We still want to stay contact, keep grounded with our lower back. Okay. Now I barely have my foot just up off the wall here. So balls of my feet and my toes aren't even on the wall yet. I'm going to hold it here until I can feel the muscles start to relax a little bit. And then I'm going to inch my heel down just a little bit more. Now, if you want a little extra stretch, again, this is entirely up to you. You can take your right hand to the inside of this right knee and then gently gently press toward the wall. It should feel a little deeper stretch. Now, I'm just going to leave my right hand here. I'm going to give it a little bit of tension. And then I'm going to start bringing this left foot down just another inch or so. So now balls of my feet are there, but my toes aren't. And I'm just going to hold it here. And this may be just my pose today, right? I can't get my foot to the wall all the way, and that's not a big deal. It's just where my body's at in the moment. I can do it tomorrow or even do it later in the day, and I may find that I can bring my foot straight down, okay? Just accept that's just where I am today. Well, let's give it again. 2 more breaths here. Now, keep the right leg crossed over the left, and we're just going to slowly start taking the left foot and leg back up the wall again, okay? Now, uncross the right leg over the left, take it straight back up, and then we're just going to switch. So bring the left leg over the right, just above the knee. Let's kick out through the left heel, and then slowly we're going to start bringing that right foot flat to the wall again. Now, I notice I'm much tighter on the left side in the moment. Right now I am. So I have my foot barely up off of the wall here. Or I should say a lot off of the wall here. So my heel just barely came down. But again, tomorrow I can do this and my foot may be completely flat to the wall. You know, our bodies work sometimes they don't. And remember, your body changes literally minute to minute and sometimes second to second, depending on what you're doing, right? So as an example, if we were doing a vinyasa class or we were even doing a power class, you may find that your body's nice and loose by the end of class. Well, that's just because we've been doing a lot of movement. When you start off, you may be tight. I'm going to inch that right foot down just a little bit more. The nice thing is when you're doing these modifications, you're still getting a good stretch out of it without having to force anything. And I promise you, your body's going to thank you. Today, tomorrow, the next day. Just stay consistent with your practice in whatever you're doing. Maybe yin one day, maybe power the next. Just again, try and stay consistent with your practice as best you can. Now, on our next inhale, we're going to take the right leg back up. So just take that right heel straight up toward the sky. Keep the left leg over the right. Now bring the left foot and leg all the way back up. So this is our transition. We'll be here just a few breaths. And then from here, we're going to go actually into a supine twist on the wall. So on our next exhale, we're just going to bring our feet flat to the wall, right? And you can bring your hands up if you want to help bring your legs down. So we're tucking our feet flat against the wall, bringing our knees and legs down toward our chest. Now, take your right hand out to the side, palm down. Bring your left hand to the outside of the right thigh or the right knee, okay? Inhale. And on our exhale, just guide your feet and legs over to the left. Go nice and slow. That left leg will come down. And then gently start bringing the right leg down. Now I have a gap between my legs, and that's just, again, just where my body's at right now. And I'm using my left hand to pull the right leg down, but I'm not forcing it down. I'm just keeping tension there. I want to feel the twist, but I'm not forcing it. Now, if you can, keep your eyes up toward the sky or the ceiling. Resist that urge to look over to the right toward your right hand. And let's keep our shoulders grounded. So if you start feeling the right shoulder come up, just bring your feet and legs a little bit back to center. All right, on our next inhale, we're going to slowly just bring those legs back up to center. So we're still stacking our knees on top of our chest and our legs on top of our chest. And then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to take our left hand and arm out to the side, palm down, right hand to the outside of that left leg. Inhale. And then exhale, supine twist to the right. And just guide the feet and the left leg over to the right side. That right leg's going to come down as far as it can. And then, again, just guide the left leg up and down, or over and down. Left shoulder flat on the mat. Our gaze is up. I've got my eyes closed here. Just going to relax into this nice spinal twist. All right. On our next inhale, let's bring those knees and feet and legs back to center. Now take the feet and legs up the wall. So legs up the wall. This will be our final pose before we move into Shavasana. So we are going to do a Shavasana today. That way we can kind of get ourselves settled back in before we come all the way up to close out the practice. Kind of get our bodies back in where they need to be. So just relax here. Just be here a minute. Now let's hold it here one more breath. Now on our exhale, just start bringing the feet and legs down off the wall. And then roll over onto your left or right side, whichever feels better for you. And then we're going to roll over and make our way onto our backs, nice and slow. So we're going to move into Shavasana, relaxation pose. And take your feet and legs down to the end of your mat. Rest your body. If you still have your bolster and you want to place it under your knees for an additional support, go ahead and do that. Let's just take a few breaths here. Come back to your natural breath if you had an Ujjayi breath or you were counting your inhales and exhales. Just come to your natural breath. Allow yourself to breathe in, breathe out, relax and let go for the next minute or so. Enjoy Shavasana. Now slowly make your way back to your mats. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Take some movement, whatever it is. Maybe stretch the hands and arms, feet, toes, and legs. And then draw the knees to the chest. Give them a nice hug. And then rock over to the left or right side into a fetal position, whichever feels best for you. Take a second, just acknowledge yourself for coming here today, sharing your yoga practice with me, honoring your body, your mind, and your soul. On our next inhale, press your way up nice and slow. Come up to a comfortable seated position, and we'll close our practice out. Inhale, reach up to the sky, stretch. Exhale your hands down to heart center. The breath enlighten me honors the breath enlighten you. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thanks everybody so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, can you boop the like button for me? I'd greatly appreciate it. If you want to do another Yin Restorative class, I've got one up here, I believe, on this corner, and a Vinyasa class over on this side. Either way, thanks again so much. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.